Hello everyone.
Hey guys, welcome back to ForWhy. You did it correctly this time.
I'm Julie.
I'm Shania.
This week
It's hectic because you're going to be real quick and snappy. And we're going to talk about cultural appropriation and hair.
exactly
Exactly that.
because the Kardashians can't stop appropriating.
Doing too much. They're always doing too much. Like, can you just not be yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
Armenian is white. I just want to clarify.
It's spicy white.
Yeah, I feel like you should lead the conversation because
I should lead the conversation. Do you have your own definition of what cultural appropriation is? Because I feel like that is a very
there's appreciation and appropriation.
Yeah, there you go.
For me, it's really hard to say because I'm a white woman.
Nah, I never knew that. You know,
Yeah.
I couldn't guess.
Shania does say I'm spicy white, but I don't think that helps in this conversation.
It's because you're not British, right?
For me, as a white woman,
As a white woman, in your
I just
entitlement.
stick to my own culture and just living the life.
Do you actually have like
I have to say, when I travel, like sometimes they will put you in like traditional clothing. Like when I went to Indonesia and we did like a ritual in a temple, they gave us like traditional clothing of theirs that they wear during those ceremonies. And at that point, of course, it's appreciation because you're just, you know, someone of the culture is giving you something to wear from their culture. So at that point, you're not like,
yeah,
you know, you're not. I love Nicki Minaj, but you're not like dressing up as a I don't even know, Chinese, Japanese, Korean character with chopsticks in her hair.
Yeah, she's done that multiple times. So she did it in Your Love music video, and then she did it in Chun-Li, which
I do love Chun-Li. I love that song.
no, it's a good
I
song.
can't lie.
But also, it's like a lot of things. So how I break down cultural appropriation is not as vast. Like, everybody thinks it's like a vast term like racism. Everybody has their own definition of racism or sexism.
I
or
feel like it can be
like
defined.
It's defined in different ways, but how I personally take it, I like broke it down into categories. I was like thinking about it last night. I was like, how can I intellectually explain this?
Go on.
So for me, cultural appropriation is like, it can only be considered in terms of like profitability.
When artists use it
to take make money off of it. Credibility. So not saying that this person or this group of people did it, so they didn't respect that culture to say, I did not create this, this was from this place.
And like actually doing it, you know, when you're wanting to wear a Chinese dress, actually wearing a tradition, like a costume or like something that has elements from different Asian cultures. And
that's what I was going to say, tastefulness as well, because it's like you can't just wear something and then make a mockery of it. Like blah blah blah. Native Americans with wearing a native dress at Halloween is not very tasteful, because
usually those costumes, they'll have like different paintings or how do I say, like science and
different markings
that are specific to different tribes, and not so they just it's Native Americans, but actually like there's different ways to color that dress or to draw on that dress that are specific to tribes. So
exactly. And there was something else, but then I forgot it, so never mind. But
and actually, like when you said the appreciate, like saying the name who did it or whatever, that also happens a lot with like, for example, the hair. You'll have cornrows, which people will just go around and say they're boxer braids, and it's like
braids, which the Kardashians coined as their own little term that they did, which is like insane
to get out of
saying like, I set a trend and I created this for, because it's not Dutch braids.
No. There you can see.
You can
see the sculpt of their head.
Yeah.
With like European braids, whatever, you can't except for when you really have thin hair, but like usually you can't see the scalp because they're not that tightly
it's not
braided.
that tight on your head. So we can do a little bit of history. Throw a little bit of history in there.
I did research.
We did research. We have Em in the corner just like cracking up.
Shout out to Emmeline. We love her.
We love you.
Eating a sandwich.
So let's do a little history. Black hair, it can be originated from the native countries, so Africa specifically, because that's where we originate
and they're
from.
also each like tribe or community had their own version of braiding hair,
and it represents different elements of wealth or different tribes, different things like that, just like in any time, like any culture, the hair represents different things in different ways. So that was taken, and then when slavery happened, they were all shaved, or their heads were shaved, because it's just stripped of that identity. Everybody had to be just stripped of their culture. And
also when slavery happened, a lot of people of different African communities found each other in one place as just black people or like African people, so it wasn't like they had to find a way of caring for their hair. But everyone, like, they all had their specific ways before, and now suddenly they had to find like a community.
New way. Because all the techniques and the materials that they used before was now taken away from them because they're not from their native places. So they're now put into a different place with their head shaved, having to figure out how to grow their hair out.
Take care of their hair. Everything.
It's just intense. So then they grouped together and did cornrows, or cane rows if you're from the UK. It's different how you say it. And my cousins yelled at me because I said cornrows on time, and I was like, ma'am, it's like a representation of like the corn in the field. Like that's why they call it that, but whatever. So that happened because it's easy to maintain throughout a long period of time.
And also they needed to keep it for a week because obviously they were working like all day, every day except Sundays, I think. And so on Sundays it was like hair day, and then they did those.
How nice, right? How nice of the
a whole day spending like braiding hair.
But how nice of the slave masters to be like, you can have like, Sundays off.
God did say we have to have a
rest. How nice of white people to be like, you can have Sundays, come. You can have that day. Like,
great.
Go to church and braid your hair.
Wow.
Love that for
you. What did they have to complain about, honestly?
It was so nice. You guys are so nice. Anyway.
Stop.
So it was hilarious. And then they'll have Sunday to do hair, to maintain it for a week. Sometimes it could last longer than that. And then it came a cultural standpoint for black women to have their hair in that type of way. And then as the years progress, civil rights movement, pro-black era, we go along. This is like the 60s.
Black people or African Americans, they started moving from the South to northern cities and to appear more cosmopolitan, because those at this point the braids, the cornrows appeared as like a fun, like even like that represented the South, like the lower class, I guess, in a way, and they wanted to appear cosmopolitan in the new northern cities, I assume, like Chicago and those places.
It's just to appease to European mindsets.
The cosmopolitan look.
So straight hair, less just like ethnic or eccentric hairstyles.
So that's when it started that black women like either got their hair straightened or I guess wigs as well.
Perms, weaves. Weaves can be counted back to back in Africa before slavery. So it's just like a cultural thing that's just represented and repeated just in different ways. And then 1979 was a movie called?
Just to say, like, when people actually wore the braids, they were looked as like as something like almost like dirty or like bad, like
it's
trashy, like not
lower
good.
Not good.
Not good.
Not the
it
vibes.
was not the vibe. Then
1979 with Bo Derek in the movie
10.
Thank you, my love. And it was a white lady, a European lady, who decided to they decided to cast her with cane rows for the movie. I don't know why
cornrows.
they specifically.
They were like, she was like running at the beach. She was like, I think it was giving very much exotic beauty, but she's white.
Yeah, and it was just like.
So she wore that hair. So yeah, she wore the hair. Didn't she also have like little like pearls at the end?
Probably.
Like, you know, the ones that white girls got when they came back from a holiday. You know which ones I mean. Like, that's what she had. Who knew that all came from a movie?
Right?
Yeah.
So it was just like, she's exotic. And then when white women saw it, it was like, oh my God, this is so cool.
Wow, what a new trend.
I want it. Yeah. And apparently they were paying like $300 to $500 just to get that hairstyle for 3 days.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Black women were like, this does not cost that much where we do it.
Does not cost that much.
Yeah. But whatever, too late now.
Fucking 2 braids and it's 2 cornrows in your hair. Cornrows.
Yeah.
For 2 in your hair, that's $300 to £500. You must be mad. I refuse to pay for braids if they're over £100. And you're telling me that is $300 to $500 back then too, because that was back then. Like the currency was different. So that's like £800 for
just to appropriate a hairstyle. Well, so yeah. So then all of a sudden it was trendy.
It was trending before trending was trending.
Yeah, but then I think black women were still like. You know, it was only trendy on white women.
Yeah.
Basically.
And the black women were still doing it because that was just the way that was just like shown. That's how we maintain hair, because again, hair didn't really have a lot of, we didn't have a lot of means or ways to do hair back then still. Like, it was still very pushed to straighten your hair, so that the only other option was camera still.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. Shout out to, now I need to do research before we started.
What did you want to shout out?
The first black lady who was selling hair products. I forgot remember. It's not Marsha P. Thompson, because that was the trans and civil rights movement. It was a different lady, and
we love her.
I'ma find out now while you talk about stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, so that movie came around. It became trendy, but it was still like a lot of places. I think even a lot of places now, schools in America or workplaces, they don't want black women to come in with natural hair, they say, so either straightened or a weave or a wig. So it's still a problem to this day, where I guess it's trendy on. Do you want to say the name?
Yeah, I found it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Madam CJ Walker,
yeah,
who created the first black woman to create black hair products.
We love that.
We love you. Shout out you, sis. That was very helpful back then, because there was nothing.
Of course, I mean, there's still not much. I just want to say one thing. I've never realized, again, because I'm a white lady, that in hotels you have the shampoos that everyone, like, you know, in the little, like, you know, that are on the shower, literally. And the black people, or even curly haired people, they can't use that. It will ruin their whole hair.
Yeah, no.
And I was like, oh.
Strip it of all the oils.
Look at my privilege. Like, I was like, oh.
Yeah, I can't. Only like recently, I could, like in the past 5 years, I could buy hair products in a supermarket.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's,
yeah, it's very intense. And then they don't even
recently
have like a large range at all. Like you have Cantu.
Yes.
Shout out Cantu. Even though it's really bad for your hair.
I'm just saying, I don't think people with very European hair, like wavy or
curly hair.
No, but curly is different, because that's also but I mean like wavy or straight hair
type of hair, like 3C to 4C type.
Not kinky hair. Non-kinky hair.
Oh, non-kinky hair.
Yeah, I don't think people realize with non-kinky hair how hard it is for people with kinky hair.
Yeah, it's very struggling. And I have looser curls as well, so my textured hair is so much easier to maintain compared to the black women I know growing up. So it's I couldn't even imagine the struggle, because it's literally, I can wet my hair and look somewhat presentable than the maintenance that it takes to really take care of black hair.
We just walked past.
So to this day it's still we're still on Bo Derek, because then the reason why is because then it was like profitability. That was the example, and then everyone was like, I want the bow braids, and it's not
they called it the bow braids,
which is kind of funny, because then the Kardashians did boxer braids, which is like kind of,
they just refused to actually call it by their name.
I know why they called it boxer braids, because
Boxers do have that.
But also it's so funny how it's close to bow braids, like the name. That is very fun.
So yeah, it was trying to basically like reduce or like not make people think of cornrows. They wanted people to think of them as bow braids. So like the history is like removed from the hairstyle.
People. Yeah. And then there was a black lady who sued her company because she had cornrows, and they were like, well, no, because of the movie that came out, 10 came out a month ago. They said, no, but you're just
wearing
copying
them. So she said, oh, you're not letting me wear this hairstyle, but it's part of my culture. And they said, no, it's not part of your culture. You're just being trendy.
Yeah.
And she was like, excuse me.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
So like, you're wearing bow braids, and she's like, the fuck is that? Like, and then she didn't win. Like, she didn't get her money. She didn't get anything. They were just like,
of course, she's a black woman.
Yeah. Well,
Are we surprised?
No. And then, so that happened, that mess, which brings us to present day.
I just want to give like one big example that always gets in my head when people talk about hair appropriation is, we all remember when Zendaya had the dreads on the red carpet.
Yes.
Which is not caught, but it's still like even dreads are founded in Black and African culture. Obviously,
we don't call it dreads, we'll call it locks.
Okay. Yeah. She came to the red carpet like with locks, or with she's done it with braids as well now, but I think that was the first time she didn't have like Eurocentric hair, or maybe she had afro before, I'm not sure, but people were not having it. They were like, this doesn't look elegant, this doesn't look blah blah blah, all this and this. But the joke is Kylie Jenner was on Teen Vogue with dreads on the cover, and they were like, wow, style icon, hippie chic.
That's so disgusting. The reason why we don't call it dreads is because back in history, the reason why it's called dreadlocks is because they would say it looks dreadful. White people, so that's why we strip it of dreads and just call it locks.
Okay, that makes sense. But I'm just saying that's a good example of nowadays how. And Zendaya's not even like, she's mixed.
I feel so sorry for her.
European in her face, like.
No, but I feel so sorry for her because since her childhood, she had to fucking straighten her hair.
Yeah.
And even like in Euphoria, you see that she's wearing her hair in its natural state. Yeah. But it's so heat damaged. Yeah. Like it's so
she
heat damaged.
She said that from the time when Shake It Up. I always get confused with Shake It Up. I don't want to. Yeah, Shake It Up. She said they straightened it so much, like it was so. The other actress, Bella Thorne, said they dyed her hair so much that her hair was fucked as well.
Damn.
So,
both were going through it. Yeah. But ironically, in Shake It Up, they straightened it just to curl it because her hair
they made
was
it
curled. Like it didn't make any sense.
It wasn't like afro. It was
made no sense. So I don't even know what Zendaya's actual hair type texture is because I'm sure she doesn't know. Yeah.
I'm just saying it's such a good example where she was just wearing a hairstyle.
And they're like, oh, it looks dirty. Like, how does
and then on Kylie Jenner, it was like high fashion because it was on the cover of Teen Vogue.
But the thing is, like, I don't understand what they mean when they say it looks dirty. Like, what specifically about it is unkept? Because the maintenance it take for black women to do their hair is insane.
Maybe because they know you don't wash it as much, and then they think it's like, you know how people in dreadlocks, even white people, they get that stigma that they're dirty because
you're meant to wash dreads.
But you know what I mean.
You're meant to wash locks.
Yeah,
but
I think that's where it comes from. They think you don't wash it for weeks and weeks.
But that wasn't even what she was like stigmatizing her off. She just said she looks dirty, not that.
I don't know. I'm just dirty. Like, I don't know.
But I get what you're saying. Yeah. But the thing is, like, our hair will fall off if we wash it as much as white people.
Yeah.
Like, even white girls with curly hair shouldn't wash their hair as much as
people in general shouldn't wash their hair once every day. It's not
that's insane. Yeah. Like, I only recently found out, not recently, that's a lie, like the past 5 years, what greasy hair is.
What do you mean, what greasy hair?
I just didn't know. Like, you know, white girls would just complain, like, oh, my hair's greasy. I did not know.
Because your hair doesn't go greasy until ages.
I was like, yeah, my hair's greasy too, but, like, it's meant to be like...
No, girl.
The oils are meant to, like, stay in your hair.
No.
I really didn't know.
Yeah,
everyone all complain. I'm like...
My hair can get greasy. Like, it will look like you sprayed it with hairspray.
No, but, like, I genuinely did not know what that looked like.
Well, now you know.
Because I've never seen like a girl with like that much greasy hair where they're like, oh my
What
God,
did you think? You just thought they were wet?
No, I've never, like, because the white girls I know always wash their hair, so I've never actually had the physical representation of what that greasy hair was. And they were like, oh no, I look drenched. I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Good for you for finding out.
Thank you.
Yeah, love that.
Thank you.
We live and we learn.
We live and we learn.
Just one last example before we have to head to class because we're a bit late today.
Oh shit.
I just want to talk about one final look because Vogue America. I want to specify, Jesus Christ, that it's America, not British Vogue, because they do better.
Yep.
American Vogue did a photo shoot with Kim Kardashian during Black History Month in America, because it's different here, right? The one here is like next month.
October.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So during Black History Month, they said, let me take Kim Kardashian, a whole white woman, and put her in a bunch of black, like her photo shoot was recreating black women's photo shoots, like Naomi Campbell and
why?
But with black hairstyles, like specifically, she had a bunch of black hairstyles in that photo shoot.
Because why?
I don't even know
Why did they think this is appreciation? We're gonna bring a whole white lady.
Obviously,
for
it's not
Black History Month.
Like someone came up with that concept, but she didn't have
she could
to
say no.
Does she think because she has a bunch of black kids now?
That's what I'm saying. You have black children. You should say no. Like, don't. Oh my God! Don't have black kids if you're not gonna understand Black history or try to comprehend
I was
it.
rooting for her. She was really doing well with her lawyer stuff, but no.
Oh my God! Love who you want to love, yeah. But don't fuck it. People piss me off. Black people piss me off because you black men, yeah. Fuck you lot. You lot. Some of you lot, anyway. You lot be having kids with white women and not knowing that these white women be racist, or if I can just don't even try to understand your fucking history and your culture. Your whole mum is black, and you're walking around with your mixed race kids with their hair like that. Fuck off. Like, it actually pisses me off. And like, with Kim Kardashian, she's intelligent. She did a whole law degree, yeah. Spent your time with Kanye West, Mr. Pro-Black himself, shout out. But even though he's a colorist.
Yeah.
But like, and you still don't try to understand that the things that you do with your influence and your power should not be done. Like, as much as this was somebody's direction in Vogue, you have the power to say no. You're fucking Kim Kardashian,
You're Kim Kardashian, yeah.
Like,
I just wanted to say that last example because it's 2022, we're still doing this. Okay.
We're still doing this. And it's weird. The thing is, right, as much as like, why fragility takes cultural appropriation as we can't do this, which is not the case.
You have so many other hairstyles you can do. It's okay.
But like, you can do it. Just don't profit off of it.
You could go to a hair.
You go to a black hair
stylist and
they'll be happy to do it.
They'll do it in a way that's appropriate for your hair. It'll be fine.
They'll do, and then they'll warn you of like you might be bald. Your hair might fall out if you leave it in for too long.
But at least you gave the money to a black person.
But at least you gave it to a black person, and at least you like shout them out on Instagram. Yeah. You know what I mean? Give some money to the black community. If you're gonna take from us, give some money back in. You know, do some shit. Look stupid with braids. Look stupid with braids. I don't care. We don't care. Just give us money and give us credit and be tasteful about it. Don't do Adele with the bantu knots. Do you know what I mean? Because that was awful.
No, not the whole Adele thing. We're not getting into it. We have class. But yeah, Adele, love you. Just don't do that.
I love you, but like it looked dumb.
You look dumb.
Be tasteful.
Peace and love.
Shout out to Carnival. I'm taking Julie to Carnival, guys. That's a whole different episode. But
okay. Love you guys.
Love you guys. Take care. Thank you. Bye.